What's the deal? My name is Dale Culver. Welcome to another episode of the podcast. Today we're going to talk about our thoughts around the Philando Castile verdict.
Yeah. Me, I'm Anthony, aka the Nigerian Warrior. That's it.
So you trace your roots to Nigeria?
Nah, man, I got friends that are Nigerian, man. So you know what I mean.
You got some white friends too.
I do. I'll get to them when I get to them.
Okay.
All right, they know who they are.
Caucasian warrior.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man.
Hi everyone, I'm Liani Perez. I guess I can say I'm the Boricua princess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do it.
What you got on, homegirl?
A romper.
This is romper room, y'all.
I ain't wearing no romper, and that's that.
He's wearing
It's
a
a
romper,
romper.
y'all.
That ain't wearing no romper.
Is that empty?
Yes.
Okay.
He like, man, don't be spilling no coffee.
No,
on my
it's
stuff.
empty.
This ain't the projects. Can I take this? Can I take this, please?
All right, man. So let's get into it, man. Let's do it.
Yes.
So the Castile thing is interesting. It's funny because I didn't realize that they had released that second video.
The second video. Well, first off, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. What's his?
I'm sure everyone knows about this stuff.
What happened was this is a brother. Say his name again.
Philando? You say it.
You said it.
Philando
Castile?
Castile. Well, Mr. Castile, he was in the car with his girlfriend and his baby in the car.
daughter.
And the police pulled him over. They said he had a tail light. When they had pulled him over, they pulled him over, whatever. They asked him for his license and registration. As he's getting his license and registration, the man clearly stated, he said, hey, I have a firearm on me. You know what I'm saying? So as he's telling the officer he has a firearm on him.
Officer, I just want to let you know.
Yeah, he basically saying, well, officer, I'm going to do a good deed. I'm going to let you know I have a firearm on me. As he says it, the officer says, hey, don't touch it. Like, don't reach for it. He says, I'm not reaching for it. He told the officer clear as day, I'm not reaching for it. The officer said it again. He went to go say, I'm not reaching for it. And the officer let off 7 shots in the car.
I feel like, as you told that, I think you gave the officer more credit than actually what happened, because it was so fast. It was so fast.
I'm not getting the officer no type of credit. What I'm just saying is, you know what I mean? He let the officer know. The reason why I'm saying it, because he let the officer know, and the officer heard him. You know, he said, hey, listen, I have a firearms on me. The officer said, don't reach for it. He said, I'm not reaching for it. The officer said again, as in he was saying it to like.
He asked for the license.
He did ask for the license and registration.
No,
so
he's going for the ID.
So he's going for his license and registration. So you know what I mean. You should at least say, you know, as an officer, you should have been like, okay, listen. First off, stop, hold off. Now that you have brought a new thing to the, you know, a new situation to this, you know, you brought a new element to this situation. Stop everything you're doing. You know, he should have got himself together and said, hey, listen, okay, you said you got a firearms? Put your hands on the steering wheel. Don't reach for nothing, whatever. Put your hands on the steering wheel.
He was a passenger, so
you know what I mean? He should have, he should have,
He could have taken control of the situation.
He should have took control of the situation.
Right. Yeah.
He refused. He just shot off on him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because let's be real, he wasn't trying to do no gunfight. He wasn't trying to do no gunfight. He had his daughter and his woman in the car.
But he also was a licensed person to have a gun. He had licensed a firearm license.
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yeah, he did.
Yes.
And I think he even and the girlfriend said that.
Yeah.
Right.
He did.
I think we got some. I think. Oh, sorry. Man. So then the video with the mom and the daughter and the police car was so sad. So sad.
So is this the first video or the second? What?
Well, they had 2 videos.
They had
They had her. She did a video that was live on Facebook.
Yes.
Last year, right?
Yeah. They did it live on Facebook. They took that video off. Then they had the dash cam, which showed the officer going to the car or whatever. And then they also have a video of her in the back of a squad car with her daughter. So they have 3 videos.
And the 4-year-old is like, because she was, so the mom, I think the mom was in handcuffs.
Yeah, the mom was already in handcuffs.
She was in handcuffs. Her baby daughter's like grabbing her face, and she's just wailing. So she's like, "Please, mama, stop yelling. I don't want you to get shooted."
Yeah, she said, "Please stop crying. I don't want you to get shotted."
Shooted.
Because she's only 4, so she's 4.
But she's like, all we wanted to do was have ice cream. She's explaining.
Yeah.
She said all she wanted to do was go home, have dinner.
It was family day, and she said, "I wish this place was safer." She's saying safer for them, right?
Yeah.
It just broke my heart in a million pieces just to hear her voice and to hear the girlfriend wailing. Like, I don't know, it does something that's just very, very, very bad. And so, but you know what? I forgot the comedian that he has his own like kind of like a
Googly?
No, he does his own like he's British or he's black and he's British, I think.
Oh no, he's from South Africa.
South Africa.
Noah. He had really good comments, and one of them is, where was the NRA? Because here is an American citizen, an American citizen with a license to carry,
firearm license to carry. Now, and the thing is that the reason why you don't hear them is because he was black, and that is so gosh darn.
Well, the
terrible,
NRA stands for not really association at this point. Cause where are they?
Where were they? Was if it was someone other than black, they would have been like they would have just went all crazy on them because he was a license to have his firearm. Now, and he made a point, and that's really like why aren't they saying something?
Because it's like
that's what they're there for, right?
Well, like I said,
that's what they
say.
That's what they stand for.
Second Amendment.
That's what they stand for.
But that's not what they're.
But that's not what they're about.
But it's just sad all the way around. And then,
it is sad.
And then for the verdict to be.
And then the worst part is he got off.
He got off.
Yeah.
That's really sad. But it's not over. It can't be over. So, I mean, something's got to come of it.
Now, a lot of people look at
about law, but
a lot of people look at this situation, and especially on Facebook. I see a lot of comments, and there's a lot of people that want to say stuff, they can't say stuff. Well, guess what? Today, I feel like we should say something.
Go in, brother.
I'm going to say something. And don't get me wrong, I have a lot of different friends. I have white friends, I have Spanish friends on Facebook, and I wanted to touch this.
Police officers too.
I have police officers. Matter of fact, I went to school with a black brother who is a police officer. Shout out to Charles Austin, Warwick Police Department. So you can say whatever you want, but at the end of the day, I gotta say this. I've been a part of these situations with the police. So before anybody sits there and says, "Oh, well, it's nothing like that," and you should have listened to the police, and because I see that a lot. I see a lot of people will speak up and say, "That's not the." Oh, well, maybe if he should have did this, or maybe he should have did this. Well, guess what? If you ain't never been in that situation, you have no right to talk.
You know what's funny when you say that? Every time over the last year and a half, 2 years or whatever, we see these cases. Mm-hmm. I'm always looking at it like, okay, well, this one they're gonna be in trouble for this one, right? So it's like when the guy with the green shirt ran, he got shot in the back.
I was like, he's definitely gonna get nothing.
They get off. Like this one, the Castile.
This one, I was like, he's definitely going down.
They get off.
Nothing.
They get off. So that's the point you make. They say, if you just listen to the police officers, this would never happen. But we've seen every different situation on how to handle these things. That
Sandra Blaine. I'm like, they definitely getting her. Got off.
so no matter how you come at it, it's always it's always not good enough. So at this point, there's
Rodney King. They whipped him, beat him. They beat him on a 1990s camera, so they couldn't be nothing, mess with it, whatever. They beat the brakes off of him. Got off. They literally beat the curl off of his head. All the Jerry curl juices, they beat that dude. Woo, we beat him.
That was pre-internet beating too.
This was before we had Facebook Live.
It still went viral.
This is before we had Facebook, MySpace, internet, This
No,
was
MySpace was there.
no, MySpace wasn't out.
Nah. This is back.
This is
Matter of fact,
1990.
Okay.
1991.
Okay.
The Rodney King beat was so good, the police officers used that on how to properly whip a dude's ass without killing him.
Mm-hmm.
That's like that's their training video.
I don't know. It is a touchy subject because we do have friends that are in the police force.
No,
but
it is a touchy subject.
I mean, I believe it or not,
It's a
I've
touchy
had experiences
subject.
too, and I have 2 experiences, but one of them
I've had-
particularly fearful for me.
Yeah, I've
You
had
know?
a bunch of
And
situations.
I'll never forget that ever.
Tell us about your situation.
I was coming from work. I had my 2-year-old son. I had a Nissan. I had a Toyota Celica, an '83 Celica. And what happened was someone tried robbing me, and they jimmied the trunk lock, right? So I had a hole in it. Eventually I was gonna get it fixed. Anyways, I'm driving, and I noticed there was a car following me. Just a regular normal car. And I'm like, this guy I think is following me. So just to make sure, I started taking weird turns. Every turn I took, he took. If I sped up, he sped up. And then I went into panic mode. This was on Broadway, right actually where I live now, was that same apartment. I went into scare mode, and then I just hauled. So instead of going 25, I started going 50, 60, 70, 80. All of a sudden, he started following, and I'm thinking, I am dead. Someone's wants to kill me, or something's up.
You didn't know it was a police officer?
I did not know. So all of a sudden, he took a light, and he put it on his
Oh, that was like Car 54 chasing you? It was like...
Yeah, no, not on top. He put it in his in front, like on his dashboard. So when I looked up and I saw the police thing like this, I slammed my brakes. I parked my car right in the middle of the street.
You could have said that a while ago, right? After your family.
Oh my God! So I jumped out of my car and I started yelling at the cop. He was an undercover cop. And he goes, oh. He's like, calm down. I'm like, calm down. I got my 2-year-old. I'm thinking you're about to kill me. And it's, and I was just going off. And he goes, whoa, calm down. I thought because I'm short, I'm low. He's like, I thought you were like one of those low-riding Puerto Ricans trying to steal no. So he's trying to calm me down. Then he said that he thought I was one of those punk Puerto Ricans trying to steal a car, the Toyota. I'm like, what? Then I went off at him again. It was a protective police officer, and I said, and I went off. And then I'm like, he goes, next time you feel like someone's following you, just go to go to the police station and park. But I really thought, and then I think. Now that this was back in 1992, I think if I would have done that now, they probably would have shot him. Maybe, because I went after him. I went up to him, yelling at him.
Who
like
knows?
a crazy woman.
Yeah, who knows? That's the thing.
Crazy woman. I was like in his chest.
At least you got that.
So that was my first experience with an undercover cop.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Nah, man. I'll talk about my experiences. Like I said, I put on the podcast. I dedicate this show to my boy Chike, because me and him, this is my man, 100 grand. Like, I've known my boy Chike since 7th grade. Him and my boy George, they took me in. I went from one middle school to the next, and they took me in. They loved me like fam. Those are my brothers. You know what I'm saying? And when I mean that's my boy, man, that's my boy for life. But he's been speaking about this a lot, and a lot of people been harassing him. But they don't understand, like, if you have never been through it, then you don't know. And I literally been through it. I'll talk about what happened to me. I was about 20 years old, maybe 20, 21. This was back probably like 2002, 2003. And my boy, it was me, my boy Chike, my boy George. It was me, my boy Chike, my boy George, and my boy Steven, who had passed away. We call him Beeman. He had passed away, but he had just, because he was going through situations where he was, he had issues with his health. So he just had got a new car. It was a Pontiac Bonneville. It was blue. Pontiac Bonneville, beautiful car. So we excited for him. We his boys, we visited him in the hospital and everything. We making sure, and he got his health back. And we's excited. So we go. We're like, yo, let's go out. Let's have a good night. Let's drive around. Let's figure out what we can do, whatever. So we driving around. We having a good time. We happy to see him out of the hospital, because we was go there and visit him and play video games with him. We happy to see him out the hospital. Like I said, he just got a new car. So we driving around. He's in the front. My boy George is on the passenger. Me and Chike is in the back. We're driving. We're happy. We're driving. So we're on Broad Street, and we get pulled over by a cop. They pull us over. So we're not expecting anything. The car still had the temporary license plates on it. So we get pulled over. Now we're on Broad Street, right next to, right in front of Burger King, right next to Central. Like I said, we all in our early 20s. We sitting in the car. We're like, okay, maybe something's wrong, because the car had the new, the dealer one, the dealer plate on it, because he just got it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's a temporary plate.
Yeah, temporary plate. So we get pulled over. We're thinking it might be something like that. One cop car pulls us over. We're sitting over there. Next thing we know, another cop car comes right behind the first cop car. So we're just sitting there like, oh snap, like what's going on? And so we're just sitting here, right? And we're like, okay, maybe it's something, whatever. Both cops come to the car and they just stop yelling. They're like, yo, what are you guys doing? Where are you guys going? Pull over, get out the car, whatever. So they take my boy Chike out of the car. And they put him in a squad car by himself. They make us all get out of the car. So they take my boy Chike, they put him in a squad car by himself. So me, my boy George, and my boy Steven are like, what the heck? Then they take the three of us, stuff us in the back of another squad car. They didn't ask us no questions, no nothing. They grabbed my boy George. They grabbed him by his head. He had a hat on and just threw him in the car. His hat hit the ground. He's like, yo, my hat. They just threw us in there. So while they have me, my boy Chike, and Steven and me in the back of this it's crammed. If you ever been in the back seat of a police car, it's rough with one person, never mind three. And we're not small dudes. So we're crammed in there. And all three of us are worried about what's going on with my boy Chike. Because, he's in a separate car. We don't know what's going on. So as we're trying to turn around and see what's going on, we're looking and we see my boy Chike in a squad car with a police officer pointing a gun, yelling at him. As we're looking, we're like, oh snap. The other police officer's like, hey, look forward. Mind your business. Don't look forward. So we're looking forward. At that moment in time, all three of us look at each other and we're like, yo, something's going to happen. I even said, I was like, yo, I think we're going to either get beat up, something. My boy George is like worried. He's like, yo, what the heck? We're nervous because my boy Cheek, he's not with us. If it was all four of us in the back of the car, we would have been fine. But Cheek is not with us. We know something's not right. We see the officer pointing the gun in the car at him. So we just like, all right, cool. Next thing you know, they all get us round up and whatever. They pull Chike out of the car. They let us all go back in the car. But I see my boy Chike's face, and when I mean I'm looking at him, I could see that something's wrong, because I was already mad, because I felt like something's going to happen to all of us. I just felt like Chike was going to be the first one, and then slowly after all three of us. But I could see, like, when you see the pain in his face, like he was like hurt. Like he was so mad. And we all get in the car and whatever, and we're just asking him like, yo, Cheek, what happened? You know what I'm saying? Because we're trying to tell him what happened with us, but we know something worse happened. And he was like, yo, this officer had a gun in my face and asking me where the gun's at. He was even saying that y'all snitched and said that we said that he had the gun. We've been boys for years. We would never say nothing like that. He knew that. What ended up happening was there was a robbery in that area, and it was a Bonneville that happened. And it was a robbery in that area that had to do with a gun. So they pulled us over. They automatically assumed that had to do with us. And they put my boy Chike in a position where he was the robber or whatever. They didn't ask us no questions. They just automatically assumed it was him. And they put the gun in his face. And at the same time they're putting the gun in the face, we have another officer threatening us in the back. Like, don't move. If you move, we'll you know what I mean? Like, basically he's threatening us, saying we're going to whip your ass. You know what I mean? He's threatening us. And we stuffed in there. We don't know what to do. And like I said, when we all got back in the car and we sat there, the police drove off, we literally was scared. Because we was like, yo, Cheek, we could have either got shot, beat up, who the hell knows. But at that moment in time, after that situation, I had a whole nother feeling about cops. You know what I'm saying? Because I was young. And to watch your boy, you looking in the back of a squad car at another cop squad car, and you see an officer pointing a gun at your boy, and you can't do nothing about it. I never experienced nothing like that in my life. And when I mean I was scared for my life, yo, I swear on everything I love, I was scared for my life. I thought that my boy Chike would get hurt first, and then it was either going to be whoever, whatever, because they already snatched my boy George out the car, roughed him up a little bit. And me and Steven was, you know what I mean, we was like, yo, we seen what happened. We like, yo, we gonna be quiet. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm gonna say it like it is. All four of us had, real talk, we cried. We literally cried. No, it ain't no bitch in us. Sorry. No. But we literally cried. Not because, you know, we were some punks or whatever. We cried because, yo, we couldn't believe that happened to us. And that happened here in Rhode Island. So when anybody ever tells me, oh, don't worry about the cops or whatever, unless you ever been put in that situation, don't talk to me about it, because I have. And that was just one situation. I've had 3 situations happen with Chike. And that's my boy. That was just one. I had 3 times this happened to us. So when anybody tells me about cops and fear in your life, as a black man, I know, because I've been through it. And if y'all don't respect me for it, whatever. But I'm going to be honest with you. Like I said, every time I get pulled over by a cop, the first thing that comes to my mind is that first experience that I had on Broad Street, 21 years of age. I'll never forget that as long as I live. So, if you ain't never been through it, then you have no reason to speak out on it. Literally. Because if you ain't never had a gun in your face, or you have never had an officer say something that made you feel like your life was in fear, or you was in fear of your life, then you have nothing to say. Because I have. I know how it feels. And if you, after that experience, like I said, 4 grown-ass men sitting in the car after that, and we was sitting there, like I said, my boy Chike cried, I cried. We wasn't crying. We was crying because of anger. Because we couldn't do nothing. And we had to eat it. We couldn't go and report that. We just had to eat it. So, it is what it is, man. So, if you never been a part of that experience, like I said, every time I get pulled over now, I fear for my life. Because I don't know what's going to happen. It could be a small thing, a big thing, whatever. I just think about that moment that happened to me. So, sorry I got a little emotional. Sorry.
No, but that's real, man.
It's real.
That's it.
And that happened at 20 years of age. And I'm 33 now. So, if that happened when I was 20, how you think I feel now? I still fear my life. If I get pulled over by a cop, I literally got my license, registration out. I don't move. All I can think of is, please don't put me in the back of a squad car or shoot me or whatever, because I've been there. And when I say I've been there, when you watch your boy have a gun pointed to him, all I can think about is, yo, we next. And I don't even, like I said, I was scared looking at it, so I couldn't imagine how he felt with a gun in his face. So, people can say what they want, but sooner or later, this stuff gotta stop. Plain and simple.
People don't respect it until it's somebody in their family or even them. You know, they can't see. It's tough for people to see from other people's perspective. Someone had said, made a comment not too long ago when, you know, commenting on a post like this, and he was like, he's a white guy. He said something like, well, it's hard for me to understand because I'm not black. I'm like, you don't have to be black to understand. I mean, you're not a dog, but everybody knows harming animals is wrong, right? Mm-hmm. You stand up for that, no problem. Like, come on, man, do better. Mm-hmm. You know, don't take the easy way out. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just being sympathetic to what's going on. And I can't see, one of the biggest things, I can't see how a jury can sit there and acquit these officers over and over and over and over again. Well, I can see why, right? Because we choose the jury. We put certain people there that have certain biases. I get that. But it's really hard to see that. Like, how could you know, I don't understand. I can't imagine what's going on in someone's head that can sit in a jury and say, nah, that officer, not just that case. I'm just saying all the cases that we've seen, that people can actually just sit and hear all the testimony and still say, not guilty. Like, what kind of mindset or what kind of view of the world do you have to be that type of person? That's kind of scary, man. You know
It is.
And then you have
it's like shameful, I would say, even.
You have the
know what
flip
I mean?
side too, that you have really good cops, but this is causing so much hate and anger, and so it's almost like you have a bad cop in a bad situation, and then all cops get put in that position. So then you have the sad stories where, because of the hatred, right? That's not what we're doing here. Is spreading hatred, which is the reality. Is it's concerning. It's concerning that these cops are being let go in situations that they shouldn't have, and it's putting the good cops in a position where they're categorized that all cops are bad, and then you hear the sad stories of ambushing on the good cops who are there to protect us. So you have one bad apple and you have a whole bushel of good apples, but all of the apples are going to be.
Well, here's another perspective. I'm not sure where I heard this, but the perspective was, if you're a good cop, isn't your job to catch criminals? So if if you are a good cop, why aren't you, when you see these other cops doing these things, why aren't you speaking up and doing something about it? Right? You can't have both. You can't be a good cop and not hold bad cops accountable for what they're doing. Right. It just doesn't work. It's illogical.
To be honest, like I was talking about my situation where, you know what I mean? Like what happened to me was, it felt like good cop, bad cop. Because we had that one cop that had my boy in the back with the gun to his face, but we had that other cop who seemed like he was trying to be cool with us, but at the same time he was allowing it to happen. He didn't even say nothing. Like, he was looking at it, but he was like trying to keep us away from looking at it. And put it this way, it felt like I was sitting there looking at him like, yo, you see your boy doing something, say something, like do something. And he just was, it felt like good cop, bad cop, but it was bad cop, bad cop. You know what I mean? Because he might have not been the cop that had it, whatever, but he sat there and watched it.
It's bad cop, worst cop.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he sat there and watched it. Then he stuffed the three of us in the back car, and he was trying to keep us calm, but at the same time, he was still yelling at us. Like, hey, don't look over there. We're going to get you guys out in a second. It felt like, you know what I mean? I was just it felt fishy. So anytime you see a good cop, like, for me, that's how I think. I'd be like, yeah, you might be a good cop, but if it came down to it, you ain't going to protect me. You're going to protect yourself.
I mean, you could definitely see they had a certain strategy there. I mean, you need certain strategies, but you can't just pull up, like, with the Castile thing. This is what disturbed me with the second video. I was about to say, you can't just pull over a group of kids just because you see 4 black kids and automatically assume, what if that gun would have went off on that? That's why you fucking jury members are assholes, because what if the gun accidentally went off on your boy because he's pointing it in his face, right?
Yeah.
It accidentally goes off. Now the police say, oh, well, we got to tell a story about why we pull over these 4 random black kids in their Burger King. So we'll tell the story, and the jury says, yes, he was just doing his job. He was afraid. You know?
Yeah, or they'll say, the gun went off, he feared for his life.
You know what I'm saying?
That's like the new scapegoat. I feared for my life.
For my life, so you shouldn't be doing that job. So what disturbed was, like, one of the most messed up part for me with the Castro thing on the second video, when he pulled him over, he says, he's on the radio, he says, we're pulling the guy over because he has the wide nose we're looking for. Right?
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, he had the wide nose or whatever.
But now you flip it. I feared for my life. I'm going almost 100 down to 25 zone. I feared for my life, but then they're like, I'm the criminal, but they're stalking me. I was being stalked by a police officer, right? But I didn't know it was a police officer. Had I known, I would have stopped. I'm like, is there anything? Oh, did you know that they're locking your thing? I'm like, yeah, someone tried robbing my car.
Yeah,
right. So why not just automatically stop me? What do you think? Yeah. I mean, just the logic. But this was in '92. But here we are now, what? How many years later?
2017.
Right? Yeah. We're 25 years later. Yeah. And it's if anything, it's gotten worse. And I think it's just, I just don't know. I don't know. I have a cousin who's in Baltimore when all that stuff was happening. And my cousin, his dad, and he's my second cousin. We it was nerve wracking. Like, it was nervous for us to know that.
Because at the same time, they're fearing for their life.
Right.
You're fearing for your life too.
Yeah.
Like, when you get, I don't know, some people might get pulled over by the police and they're happy about it.
Yeah.
if I get pulled over by the police, I'm nervous.
Yeah.
And when you're nervous, your mind's not. Yeah, your mind's.
In New Hampshire, especially in New Hampshire.
Yeah. It doesn't matter
nervous
where.
for my son's life. My older one, because he looks like me. The younger ones don't look Latino. I am in fear for my.
It's not even about. As soon as you get pulled over, you get nervous because you don't know if you did something wrong.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with whatever skin color.
No.
I'm betting, and even white people that get pulled over by cops, you're nervous.
I will say
they'd be upset. They'd be like, "This is bullshit."
No.
True.
I know somebody.
I don't know. Maybe white people are like, God damn it, I'm gonna shoot you
What's
first.
your badge number?
I met somebody, and I won't say what he does, because then. But I met somebody who works with the Londonderry Police Department. I'll put it out. That's where I live. I live in Londonderry. Who said, they dislike Latinos, especially Puerto Ricans. So be careful.
There's gonna be a wanted sign.
Be careful. So when I heard that, that's
yeah. Really? Like they don't. That's.
They talk badly, and the thing is that this guy is Puerto Rican, but he does not look Puerto Rican, and they would talk about that situation, and he stayed quiet. He never let up that he was Latino, and that's why when I met him, and it was during the census. I was a census door-to-door person doing census in 2010, and he's like, "You live around here?" We both live in London. Like, yeah. And he says, I'm Puerto Rican. I'm like, wow, I never pegged that, because he had blue eyes and he was fair. And he told me, he goes, when I was leaving, he goes, and I said, so when he told me what he does, I'm like, wow, it's interesting. In fact, just recently, within the past few years, I think I saw the first black Londonderry police officer. I was excited. I was like, oh my goodness, we're so, but still, it's so sad to fear for, because,
Nah, man, it's scary.
And when people are scared, they do stupid things. I can tell my son all the time. I'm like, honey,
it's not stupid things though. It's your nerves.
You're nervous. You're anxiety.
You're nervous. You might not be thinking about stuff.
Park your car. Like, it just happened just recently. He had a panic attack, and he said that he was being resistant to the commands. I'm like, no, he was having a panic attack. And when I spoke to the person, the officer, he goes, this is not the first time that I've dealt with somebody. I think he said, I arrest them all the time, And I said, sir, that's not cool, because they have, mental illness or what have you, right? And he goes, that's your personal opinion, because I'm a mom. I said, no, sir, that's my clinical opinion, because this is what I do for 20 years as I work with, and people react. It's like it's like fight or flight, right? Yeah. Because we as a species, all species want to protect themselves from death, like we were talking about earlier, right? And like I said, I have very, very close, they're my sisters who are in the force. And I fear for them because of the attitudes people have towards the officers. So it's just it's like, when does it end? When does the education end? There's got to be begin. There's got to be a wholehearted, true education. I think, just like when I was going for my degree, you know how when you go for your degree in a 4-year college, you got to take other classes like computers and things you don't really want to take. I think that in the academy, I don't know if they do, but maybe they do already. Well, they need to spruce it up a little bit when it comes to social.
No, their training is not good. I work with. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't feel like you can teach someone, because this is real. This is life shit. This is like how you view the world. You cannot teach someone to be accepting of other people in a class.
Yeah.
This is like you said. You mentioned your interaction when you were in the 20 with the police officers is going to shape how you feel and how you approach certain situations going forward. We all approach life and see different things based on our past experiences. So you cannot teach someone who has a fear of black people or is racist for these other reasons just because they go through a little tolerance boot camp. It's not going to happen. So it has to be at a definitely either, just like we select people in the jury, we do psychoanalysis to kind of figure out what you shouldn't be a police officer, because we cannot correct you, we cannot train you to not be racist or be and do your job at the highest level and throw away all your biases. We can't teach you to do that. So you shouldn't be an officer. You know what I mean? And other than that, just the society has to change at a fundamental level.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of people that are in the military should sign up, because there's a lot of people that are in the military that want to be police. And I deal with a lot of people that are in the military. I think if I had to guess or I had to pick, I would prefer that they have some type of military training. Because I realized, like I said, my boy, who was a police officer, Charles Austin, he was in the military. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're in the military, you know what I mean, you get to see stuff that you would know, that you can relate to here. You know what I'm saying? Because in the military, they have like situations where, you know, they get trained for this. Like, hey, listen, you just can't go up and shoot up everything or whatever the case may be. And at least I'm not saying that's the best way to go, but I feel like at least if you've been in the military, at least you have some type of discipline or something to you know what I mean, to at least help you out or have some extra training. These officers need some type of training.
I would say, in theory or from a marketing point of view, when we look at the military, we think the best of the best. That's what we think, right? Yeah. Whether it's true or not, whatever. We say whatever we want. But in the military, we think best of the best. We have to carry that forward when we talk about police officers. You know, a lot of police officers I see, I mean, they're people that just say, hey, you know what? Things ain't working out. I'm going to join the police academy and be a police officer. You know, that's just another person, to me, just getting another job because it's a decent job and it's going to help pay some bills. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that is the kind of person that we want doing that type of work. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't work out. You know what I mean? At other jobs, yeah, you work at McDonald's, you do something else, yeah, you can get by, but no one's getting killed, getting hurt for it. I don't know. I think that we should have police officers at a higher standard. I mean, right now, firefighters
go through a bunch of training.
They just seem to be more of the type of person you're looking for.
Yeah, because they understand their job is to save people. Their job is, they know their life's on the line or whatever the case may be, and they know, you know what I mean? And they do a lot of training. I noticed, out of the police officer, they get the least amount of training.
They're saving from a situation. A firefighter is the situation, right, of some kind of hazard. A police officer is trying to keep the peace, keep the order. Right? Because
no, but the police officer have multiple jobs.
They're dealing with other people.
But then a police officer has multiple jobs. Let's be I'm gonna speak on their side a little bit. Whatever. The police, they're loved when they do something that's, you know, saving somebody, whatever. You know what I mean? They love when you know what I mean. If some, you know, a shooting's going on and they, you know what I mean. You know, they, you know, maybe just, you know, they handle the situation, bring it back down to normal.
Disarm the suspect.
Yeah, there we go. Disarm the suspect.
Well, it's scary. But that's fearful. Think about it.
But that's fearful. But then when you call them up for
they don't go down, I'm going to be a hero. They're like, holy crap, it's me or them.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
But that's what is so hard about it. I could never put myself in that position.
But like, and that goes back to what Dale said. That goes back to what Dale said. There's people that are sitting there going, you know what? I'm just going to be a police officer because it's something to do. And then there's some people that are like, yo, I'm going to be a police officer because I want to make things better. But then on top of that, you got that officer that wants to make things better, and it's just like the movie Training Day. You know what I mean? When you had that officer, he wanted to be a good detective or whatever, and then he gets trained by Denzel Washington, and he's just like, yo, what is this? So that's why when they talk about good cop, bad cop, that's a fine line, because there's good cops that go to work and know they're in the midst of bad officers, and they don't speak up. And if they do speak up, look what happens to them.
Well, you got to turn around and go the other way. You got to stand for something. Turn around and go the other way. But you know what? This is not for me. This is what I thought the field was going to be. And then you find a different angle. You know what I'm saying? You can still be involved if you really care.
Growing up, I wanted to be a cop, but the only thing that stopped me, one thing: la pistola, the gun.
Yeah.
Look at in England, right? What's in England? They have sticks. They don't have the bobbies. They call them bobbies. They don't have. I think we should go that route.
It's too late now.
Maybe we should.
It's too late now.
But all I gotta say is, guys, we gotta stop.
Oh yeah.
Like the Black Panthers back in the day, we gotta stop policing our communities. Some people don't like the Black Panthers. I like what they represented, what they was about. They was about policing their communities because they got sick and tired of the police brutality. So we got to stop policing ourselves. We got to stop policing our own communities, man. Because if we don't, we're going to have these situations keep happening over and over and over. And then what's going to really end up happening is once people get to the point where they're sick and tired, things just turn bad. You know, the riots become one thing, but then it's going to turn into something else. And as human beings, we need to get right. What's right is right. What's wrong is wrong.
I agree about the policing yourselves, but at what point, like, even that is scary, because then you're gonna get criminal like individuals who take matters into their own hands, and then they become. There's a word.
When you say police yourself, you mean people from your community should be policing the community?
Yes.
Is that what you mean?
Yes.
You don't mean like the Lone Ranger?
No, I don't mean like Lone. I think people.
But you'll get Lone Rangers.
But you got to know your community. Don't take advantage of something. When I mean policing your stuff, that means if if you got a community, you love your community, whatever the case may be, and you see drug activities and stuff going on,
exactly.
As a community, you need to be like, hey, listen, man, if you're going to have that, you know what comes with that. Crime comes with that.
Bullies out.
Yeah, exactly.
People that ruin the, there's so many different things.
So what happens with these officers, they say I was afraid. All right, so we all know that there's certain neighborhoods that people may be afraid to walk down, but whenever you go to these neighborhoods, you'll see an elderly person. She'll walk down the street with her bags because she just went shopping. You'll see an elderly guy. You'll see young kids playing. You'll see people in that neighborhood that you may be afraid to go into, but you'll see them living and making it through in that environment. You know why? Because they understand the environment. They're from there, so they're not afraid. So what may look like something you should be afraid of. Or I'll give you an example. 6 weeks ago, whatever. Remember, we went to New York. We went to Harlem. We went up to Sylvia's and stuff like that. So I told you that, right? So we were walking down one of the streets there, and there was these teenagers or whatever, and they were just like, loud. And Rainey was like looking like she's like, oh, let's hurry up. You know what I'm saying? Because from her perspective, not being from there, like we weren't from there, it looks like something was about to pop off. But then I was laughing and had her teasing her. I was like, yo, those are just little kids. They was playing. You know what I'm saying? Like they was, whatever they was doing, they was kind of playing. You know what I mean? You see a guy run a little girl, like, you know how it is.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, if you're not from the environment, you can't see. You're going to be afraid because you don't understand what's really happening. So if you pull police officers to police their own, they'll be able to assess the situation as like, those kids are just playing basketball, or they're just yelling and screaming at each other because they called a foul and they always like to argue. But a police officer from another place is going to be like, what's going on over here, and just start acting like, and then they're afraid because they really have no clue. So you have to kind of be from there to be able to, like, a white cop from any other environment should not be coming into an ethnic neighborhood, policing the place, and they don't have, they
don't have no background experience on the neighborhood.
One of the things that I see on the internet that really drives me crazy is when they show a black cop pull up and start playing basketball with the kids. They always like to post that. Oh, look, the cop shooting some hoops with the black kids. It's all right. That's pretty cool, all right, whatever, you're playing, but that's shallow. You know what I'm saying? If you think that bonding with somebody just shooting hoops, to me it's just a little show. It takes way more than that. It takes understanding. It takes really, like, I think it's a certain upbringing. That's why it can't be trained. You just have to kind of know. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go to Japan and just start running shit. Hey, you, what are you doing? Get back over there. Yeah. I'll be scared because I don't know anything.
Right.
And that's what happens. They get these officers that are not from there, but it goes to the training.
But they don't want to pay us.
Yeah.
So they don't want to put the minorities in. Like you said, you were in New Hampshire, and you saw the first black officer.
Yes.
Okay, Puerto Rican.
Black.
Oh, black officer.
But he appeared to be black. He could have been Dominican. He could have been black Puerto Rican.
He was black.
But he's black.
It's in New Hampshire. He's black. There's no. Let me get the scale. Get the rule. The brown paper bag test. Was he not going to the paper bag? But
he's black.
But I mean, think about it. These are good paying jobs. Right. So what are they gonna do? We're not gonna put your minorities in these positions. We're not gonna hire you guys. We're not gonna train you guys. We're not gonna put you. We're gonna put our people from our community and send them over there to police your community, and it doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think you can. I think that might be part of the answer. You know, because like I said, what I was saying is you can't train. It has to be a cultural thing. And how do you get that? You can only get that by getting people that already understand.
Right, and that makes sense.
I'm gonna say this. This might sound messed up, and I don't care.
Say it, brother. We always.
I'm going to say it because when I say it, I mean it for a reason. Mm-hmm. I think integration might have been the worst thing for black people or people of color.
Can I just say one thing?
Yes.
Can we do the next episode of the podcast on that? Because that's a good topic.